Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 13th episode of the Stories About Fear podcast. A wonderful guest, a very energetic personality, a very skilled, amazing coach is going to talk with us today about how he conquered his fears, how he got to fire his boss. So stick around with us until the end to learn from Zishan K how he got to pursue his dreams full speed ahead. Today's episode is called Fire Your Boss, Acknowledge Your Fear and Do It. And Zishan is empowering entrepreneurs to shift from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. And he wants you to thrive and leverage the system to your benefit. Zishan's reasons are the following, and this is so beautiful, very special that I want this to be his quote. My mission is to inspire millions of people to become entrepreneurs by awakening their minds to their greatness that resides within them. I resigned from my corporate role to pursue my life by design and have never looked back. This is wonderful, and I am beyond grateful and so excited to have you with me, Zishan K. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Roxana. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for a wonderful introduction as well. I'm grateful to be here and share my story with your audience as well.
Thank you so much. And I want us to talk about this is going to be very direct because I have loved our talk on Tuesday Talks, which you have every single Tuesday in May. And you were telling us about this amazing program that you have created for people that want to be more than simple employees. Can you please share with us a bit about your path and how you got to create this genius blueprint that helps employees shift to entrepreneurs?
Yeah, sure. So, it's something that I came across when I was firing my boss. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life, but as people go through, you have to get a job, you have to do things that you conform to what society is asking you every time. Uh, and by that, what I also noticed was that I wasn't living my life by what I really wanted to do. So it wasn't my design. I was living life by default, what was around me. So, I've always planned everything. So I always forecast what's happening. And that was my role as well in the corporate world as well. So with that in mind, I always planned my life as well, forecasted where I'm going to be in 6 months time and at the end of the year. And, I measured those things. And so the workshop that I created was called create a life, live life by your own design. So it was a live life by your own design. And in that one, we go through 5 pillars. So we'll have 5 pillars that we will go through. We will look at vision, we will look at goals, then we will set some disciplines to follow, and then we will review them, and we will also set some micro moments to celebrate them as well, right? So we do that by, we'll have the vision of where you want to see yourself. That could be a huge macro goal, so whatever that is for you, right? And then we will try to put it down into smaller goals. So what can we achieve in 1 month? What can we achieve in 3 months? So every quarterly, then 6 months, and then at the end of the year. So we can see how can we measure it. So now those measures will be different for everybody, but it will give them an idea of measure their goals of the big vision they have. So the big vision will require small goals to achieve them. And after that, once we have those things set, we will need a discipline to continue with that. Now the discipline comes from being strict with yourself, being true to yourself, right? Because I always say the day you are feeling less motivated, because everybody needs that motivation one day that you do feel like, okay, I can't be bothered to do this today. No, I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So that's when you need that discipline. So be true to yourself, that why are you doing that? Look at your mission, look at your goal. Where will it take you, right? The stronger your vision is, the stronger your discipline would be, right? So that's where then you would need to switch to discipline. And after that, once you're doing this, we are reviewing it, which was review it at the end of the month or review it at the end of the quarter, every quarter, depending on what your goals are. We can arrange that for you. And then after that, you celebrate then as well. So these are your micro moments to celebrate. You don't have to celebrate just the ones that you are reviewing. You can also celebrate daily, because daily what you are doing, you are already moving one day closer to your goal, one day closer to your bigger vision as well. So you also celebrated those micro moments. So these are just 5 pillars that I work with, and the workshop is designed around that, and you get that support to take you forward with it, and you design your life with that.
Love it. Zishan, you said some things that I love, which is discipline and celebrate. People do not celebrate as often as they should. It's really important, as you said, to make sure that you get even those little steps very cheered by yourself to yourself, because I have been talking about this a lot lately. You need to be your own cheerleader. And as you said, I completely agree. Discipline is not the easiest thing to do, because otherwise we would all do it, right?
Definitely, yeah, no, I agree. So discipline is not the easiest thing to do. Although it just depends on how. I would say is, I mean, I like to simplify everything, like black and white. There is no gray area in the middle for myself anyway. It's either you really want to do it, or it's not really important to you, so that you will find an excuse for it, right? And that's where discipline comes in, right? Because all these people who are doing these, let's say summer's coming and everybody goes into their diet for summer. I want to look good because there'll be no jackets. I want to wear some nice clothes and, look nice for summer. And you start doing these diets and everything, right? If you're serious, some people are serious, they do their, they continue and they carry on doing their diets. And then you see them, I have a very close friend of mine, and she's been working very hard, and the discipline, that's what I call discipline. And it's 2 years work that she's done on her body, and now she looks amazing, right? And I was telling another one of my friends, I was like, this person, this is what I call discipline, continuously doing this for 2 years, because her vision was to be comfortable with her body. That's what was her mission, and that was her vision, to be happy for herself. And now you see it, it's like second nature. You need to create that habit. Once you create an habit, whether that's being an entrepreneur, with the entrepreneur is where it's needed a lot more. When I first started out, I wish there was someone out there who could give me guidance through the hard times, right? Because when you're doing it all along yourself, things can often feel confusing, isolated, and overwhelming at that time as well sometimes. And this is where also that discipline comes in, to continue doing what you are doing, and also look for a source that could guide you, right? Whether that's a coach, whether that's a mentor, whether that's you connecting with somebody that is you love to be with, right? In terms of, you see somebody and you say, this is what I want to be one day, right? And you now follow what the person is doing, and see how you are now following that. Success always leaves footsteps behind, right? So it leaves traces of what it needs to be done. Just follow them. But when you're following them, follow them with discipline.
Wow. Thank you for saying this. Thank you so much for mentioning about this, because as you said, black or white, it's either important for you or it's not. And it's about being honest with yourself at the end of the day. Can you please tell us, Zishan, because I'm pretty sure that our listeners are very curious, how did you get to have this very strong mindset? And what led to you building your amazing business that you have today?
Oh, that is actually a very interesting question. So, the mindset I have this from, I'll say it probably comes from the family background that I have also. So I didn't have the best of childhood out there. After my dad fell on hard times when he got redundant and everything, we were all in very good positions. So until a certain age, until I think I was about 13, 14, we lived a very good life, but then suddenly we fell on hard times. And this is when I realized, right, oh, okay, now all the luxuries we had are not there. We have to, reserve things. We need to be cautious. We can't just do things like we were doing before. And that's where the discipline for me kind of came in as well, right? So when I was doing things, I had to then choose, okay, is it do I really want this, or I am just thinking of, oh, it will look nice if I do this, right? Or do I really need this now, or is it going to actually benefit me in the future if I'm deciding something? So when I do something, I always say, whatever you are doing today is what is going to reflect tomorrow, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, or 10 years from now. You never know. Your decision that you've taken today to do something is what is going to reflect to you. It will always pay off. It will come back to you with something good or bad, depending on what you did, right? So I always say, okay, whatever I'm doing today, it will pay off in the long run. And a lot of things have paid off for me in the long run. So like my Tuesday Talks has been going for 1 year. We were celebrating 1 year in June. It did actually start around March time, and it's been going for a long time strong. But I'm continuously doing it. I take my time out. I have a very busy schedule with clients and coaching and everything, but I still take time out for that Tuesday Talks because it's. I mean, if I wanted to, I could have just shut it down, right? Because it's for free. I turn up for my listeners, and I turn up for the guests as well, and I reach out to the guests as well. So I take that time out to do it because I want to do that for everybody, as that's one of my missions, to get those millions of entrepreneurs out there going. Be disciplined and just take it out. And that's how I guess my mindset is. It's like you either do it or you don't do it. Be honest to yourself what it is. There's no middle ground uh, on it. You just take the decision of what you want and just do it. I know it's not that simple sometimes for a lot of people, but it is that simple as well at the end. We are the people who ourselves block it a lot of time because of just that fear. And we're coming to the fear subject now. So because of that fear of the unknown, of I don't know how that's going to look like, right? I don't know what people would say. Oh, I don't know this, I'm not too sure. I'm currently working with someone who loves to start projects but never finishes them projects. So he's got various businesses, but then a lot of those businesses are not going anywhere. And this is where I'm getting him to work on the discipline of continue with the project that you are on instead of starting a new one every time you start a project, not launching it, and then carry on and moving on to another one, starting up, launching it halfway, then moving on to another one. So this is and not seeing the successes. And this is where the employee mindset is, because he's still stuck in the employee mindset, is because of thinking a lot of systems should be done now. Because he has to create that system, he finds it a little bit challenging on certain areas. And then certain areas I'm like, okay, what things are we needing, right? Are there people that we can find who can do this for you? He doesn't think that way then, right? Because employees don't think that way. Employees get everything given to them to do the task, right? Whereas you become an entrepreneur, you need to create those opportunities yourself. You need to create those tasks. There are some standard tasks that you have to do as an entrepreneur anyway, but now to move forward, you need to create those things for yourself to see what takes your I'll say what moves your boat forward, right? So you have the wind and your sail, which is moving your boat forward, which is a standard entrepreneurial journey. But what will you do when the waves stops and there's no wind? you need to start pedaling. You need to look for the pedal. You need to look for help. You need to do something to carry on moving. Otherwise, you are stranded in the big blue sea, right? And that's what the entrepreneurial journey is over time. So, you need to look for collaborations, hard work, network, and those are key to successes. And a lot of people do not look at that side of the entrepreneurial journey, and because that's where the entrepreneurial mind comes in. So I help, converging that from employee to entrepreneurs, realizing the potential which is already within you. You are already doing that for somebody else as a task, normal task, right? Just not
Wow.
realizing it.
Wow, Zishan, this is beyond inspiring. And you are motivating me to learn even more, to engage even more in everything that I do, because this was ice breaking, what you said just now. You already do this for someone else. Why not implement everything and get the life of your dreams, right? This is wonderful. And I love it that you chose to be a victor instead of being a victim. Because when you are a child, things may seem maybe even more dramatic than they are, because you getting used to a certain lifestyle and then not having it all of a sudden, that is pretty shocking to maybe most of us. But then you got this discipline going for you, and you have translated this into, okay, what am I going to do from now on? Am I going to be a simple sheep? I think we can call it sheep. It's not negative, because I really admire people that are happy with their jobs. But let's face it, maybe you and I know that 99% of the people that we had around us when we were employees ourselves were not happy at all. And indeed, you can either choose to be a conformer or choose to be the one that sets the tone. And I am very much enjoying what you said about, okay, it is time to decide. We sometimes think that we have time, but maybe as a day goes by, a week goes by, a month, and then you get to realize, okay, 2021 is over. What have I done so far? Zishan, you brought into discussion fear, and can you please tell us, how was your journey with fear at the beginning, and how would you say it has changed now when you got to start your own activity?
So for myself, yeah, the fear, is part of being human anyway. So we will all experience this emotion. It's part of our emotions. So fear is there to be acknowledged. That's how I say it. And for me, when I started doing the entrepreneurial journey, and firing my boss was already a big step, because when I was leaving my job, I was already earning quite a lot of income. So there was a lot. My security blanket was very nice, right? So giving me a nice lifestyle and everything. Now for me to leave that and going into a business where I'm not too sure, there's no guarantee 100%. There will be lots of ups and downs in terms of one day I might have the income, one day I might not have the income, and also depends on how hard I want to work and when I am feeling lazy. One days I'm not feeling like working, so all those things are in there. So that fear was there, right? So what will happen on the days that I don't feel like working? What will happen on the days when it's too sunny? What will happen on the days that I don't feel like getting up in the morning, right? And then those fears, then I realized, were coming from a place where, because I have been an employee majority of my time of the day than the entrepreneur, right? So I had quite a few small businesses which did okay, right? Because I never paid attention to them a lot. I did pay attention, but a small amount of time. My regular job would have taken more time. So the fear was coming from that, is losing that blanket would mean something to me, right? What will I do when I do not have that blanket to me to look after, right? So I looked at myself and I said, right, Zishan, what would you do if you are stranded outside and your phone is dead and it's raining, right? Because I hate the rain. In UK, the rain is terrible. I love the rain anywhere else, but in UK, the rain is terrible. So, and because the feeling you get when it's rain, you're wet, your clothes are wet, you can't do much. You're feeling sticky when you want to walk. So that feeling is already putting me off, right? So I'm like, and your phone is dead. What will you now do, right? You need to get home. How will you now get home? Your phone is dead. You can't call a Uber. You're wet because it's raining outside. You want to look for a shelter. So how will you now get home? What would you now do? And this is where you will now create an opportunity. The fear is, your fear will now go away, because your fear was, okay, my phone is dead and my it's raining, and that's where the fear is. I cannot get home, right? What do I do? Why, you just going to stand there and say, I don't know what to do, or start walking? I don't know how far you have to walk, or do something, right? Look for the bus stop. But hang on a minute, I don't carry a wallet because I pay using my phone now everywhere, right? Just tap it. So how are you going to do these things? You will come up with a solution because you want to get home, right? You want to get home, so you will come up with a solution. You will conquer that fear of not getting home on time, or not getting home at all, maybe today, right? So how are you going to conquer that? So you will conquer that time. Maybe you will go late. So what will happen here is that you will accept that notion of, okay, it's happened now, I might go home late now, not on time, that usual time that I reach home, but I might be few hours late now because I am stranded, right? And I need to find a way of communicating that home as well, that I am coming late, right? So this communication is key as well. So you are trying to also find a way to let people know who are waiting for you at home that, oh, you are late, you are stranded, you might gonna, solutions, you will come up with solutions. Everybody will do things differently. Myself was, maybe I will ask to borrow someone's phone and ring. Then I was like, I don't remember everyone's number. I'm very terrible with remembering numbers because everything is saved now. But what will I do, right? So I might walk into a cafe, see if I'm able to charge phone in there whilst I just buy a coffee or something like that, right? So or sit down for a little bit to get shade from the rain, right? And then get my phone charged, make a phone call, and progress from there. So the solutions will come, and you will start looking. And this is where, when you want to become an entrepreneur, a lot of people focus on the negativity. When I say negativity, it is the part of what if. So the what if will only happen if you allow it to happen. Now we have the power for it to not happen at all, right? Because now you know it already, you're aware of it, acknowledge that, right? And now set upon that journey and make sure that what if doesn't happen, because that's where you are paying attention to it. And this is where our 5 pillars comes in, and we look at that 5 pillar and we focus on to those visions and micro moments and everything. So you're never gonna be stranded without your phone or in the rain like me then.
This is brilliant. Zishan, I am speechless and nothing else to add here. This is simply brilliant. And I'm very grateful for you sharing this with us. And again, this is very inspiring. And I am extremely pleased of this metaphor. I was actually thinking, okay, I need to focus on solutions. It may rain. We have things outside of our control, right?
Exactly.
But are we going to react, or are we going to keep cool and calm and get our rational mind kicking in? And I truly believe in this magic question: how? How can I do this despite fear, despite limiting beliefs, despite this rain that keeps pouring and doesn't let me do the things that I want? This is brilliant. And I can see now, I can understand now better how much energy and effort and creativity you have put into this brilliant blueprint of yours, which I'm pretty sure that everyone seeing us and listening to us will be more than happy to put in practice, because it is something that I have not heard before. It's unique and it seems very easy to implement. We want it easy. That's the truth. Give us complex, we may ponder a bit more, but when it's this easy, brilliant. Zishan, please tell us, how would you say that fear has motivated you through the years to work maybe more on your mindset to change it from an employee to an entrepreneur? Has it been a strong motivator, or maybe fear has maybe blocked you in a way? What are your thoughts about this?
So I will say the fear was or is still a strong motivator for me, because I acknowledge that emotion in terms of, it's, if I'm fearful of something, that means is something really good to do, right? Because the reason I say that is fear comes from a part which is designed to help you, but from a different time. When we used to be hunter gatherers, at that time, fear was amazing. You needed that fear that time because you see a bush move, you want to be fearful and you want to check it, save yourself. It could be a tiger, right? Because you're hunting out there. Now the fear is different, right? So the mind and the body still triggers the fear, but we now are conscious enough, aware enough to acknowledge fear and say, okay, thank you very much, body. I mind, I know what you're trying to say to me. I hear you, but I know where I'm going, what's going to happen. It's a bit like bungee jumping. A lot of people are scared of bungee jumping. It's on my list to do, and skydiving is on my list to do as well. um, if you've done those two things, you can do anything in the world, because there's lots of fearful factors in there which I won't mention for people who would want to do. So but there's lots of fearful factors in there, but you see thousands of people do that every day, right? And that's what I use myself as well, to acknowledge the fear but do it anyway, because you now know it and you try to now overcome it, right? I just go, what's the worst that will happen?
Exactly, exactly. And can you please share with us, how did it feel to fire your boss, Zishan?
It actually felt very amazing to fire my boss. It was a long time coming anyway. My boss would have been fired at the beginning of 2022 because I had planned, and that's what I was following, my 5 pillars to design and everything. But thanks to I say thanks to pandemic. But obviously, I know circumstances, but pandemic was actually very good to me because I was able to utilize a lot of my time to self-educate and propel my business forward. And because I realized the opportunity, and that's part of being an entrepreneur, is to realize the opportunity which are around you. So when I did that, it just felt amazing. I felt free, that I do not have to answer to someone. So if I feel like not working tomorrow, I can actually take the day off tomorrow and just sit, right? But being an entrepreneur, it's very unlikely you will do that, right? But there are times, let's say now somebody says that I want you to be here on certain time, I can take that time out, rather than me asking from a boss, can I get that time off? And then they're saying no, and I'm like, okay, I can't get it off, but I need to do it. That back forward goes on. So that's not there. You don't have people telling you what to do. It's your time. You do it as you want to do it. And that was just amazing for me.
Wonderful. Well, I congratulate you for this. I congratulate you for your wonderful dreams to bungee jump and to skydive. These are actually on my to-do list as well. And I cannot wait for us to be sharing how it felt to have these amazing experiences, that indeed, if you can do this, you can do anything in this lifetime. And can you please maybe give an advice, Zishan, to the young people that are listening to us? someone that may have a very strong feeling for being an entrepreneur, but is second guessing because maybe a family, friends, many people, as you said, still have this employee mindset, and they don't want the people around them to do something different. What would you advise someone that is at the beginning of their journey?
So that's actually a brilliant question as well, and I do come across quite a lot of clients who are in that predicament. Um, it is if you're the first person in your family who's becoming an entrepreneur, right, and which is again another difficult situation because nobody understands what you're trying to do. They're used to work, they're used to going to the office, they're used to doing taking whatever you need to do to get to work and then come home and then show a paycheck at the end, right? They're used to that. Entrepreneur obviously is an opposite journey. You look like sometimes you're not doing anything at all to other people because you are sitting and on your laptop or you're out or whatever you're doing, and then to after all you don't have a strong paycheck to show as well, right? So for those people who are thinking, on their early stages to do this, depending on your circumstances, there's two things you can do. Two things that are a maybe start with a side hustle. Keep your day job for the moment, right? To stay with the commitment. So I never recommend anybody to leave their job before they have made something. Because if you have commitments, you need to then obviously oblige to those commitments. That might be family, parents, whoever it is. So you need to commit to that. But then you need to commit to yourself for your dreams, your journey, right? Start a side hustle. And the reason I say side hustle because it will be very small at that time, but you can then utilize your day job money to boost your entrepreneurial journey, which I was doing for a long period of time. For a long period of time, I was doing that. So I had few businesses on the side running for me, but then I had my normal job in the corporate world. So I had that, and that's what I would recommend to start. But once you're starting, and if you start giving time to your job that, or no, it's your passion that you're on it, so your entrepreneur journey, and if that requires more time, you need to then choose where you need to give yourself more time, right? Because there will come a moment at one point where you have to choose one, right? If you continue with your day job, the entrepreneurial journey will not move forward. It will stay where it is. It's stagnant. Now because you need to grow on it, you might need to put more time because you're leveling up there, right? It's like playing the game. You play the game when on the first levels, it's so easy that you can play it every 5-10 minutes here and there in between meals and all that stuff. Then it starts becoming difficult. Then your parents start seeing you on the game for too long and they're like, what's happening? Let me finish this, right? That's what you need to start doing to that business. And maybe change your day job into a part-time. So you still are there, you still have the blanket that you need, but you're not using it every time. So you change it to part-time and then you start doing more here. Flexibility if you are able to do that. And then you will start seeing this one grow. Once this one is growing, pretty much you are ready to fire your boss. But that will only happen if you're following a blueprint you have to create and be disciplined into what you are doing. And if it's important to you, you will create it happen. You will make it happen.
Wonderful. Well, you will make it happen with Zishan's help because I don't know about you, but I feel very inspired. I have more clarity now that I have listened to you talk about this. And it is indeed a matter of doing things gradual, not maybe jumping as I did. I made a very interesting life choice back then, which I would do in a different way now, but I have learned my lessons, and indeed, taking things steady, gradual, keeping that security blanket. I love this metaphor that you're using, is very important for your mindset as well, because as things don't change overnight, you need to be patient and you need to be compassionate with yourself. What do you think about this, Zishan? How important it is to build an understanding relationship with yourself?
Oh no, that's 100% important. So and it comes from me being in the corporate world anyway, because in the corporate world you get burnt out very easily. So if you're not compassionate with yourself, you're not allowing yourself to grow and do other things. And whereas you're not just devoted yourself to that your work, even though you now want to become an entrepreneur, you still need to be compassionate with yourself. So a lot of people, I'm going to bring up self-love here now. So the self-love is now a new word that gets thrown around everywhere. It's here and there, and you see a lot of people use it. But what does it really mean, right? It does not really mean to go and I don't know what you do for self-love. It's like, okay, it means it's just looking after yourself, right? Whether that is you sitting down and listening to music, if that helps, right? Whether that's taking the walks, right? Going for swimming, right? Whatever that is self love. That is taking the time out for yourself as well, right? And then you will feel refreshed. Like myself, I like to walk quite a lot, even though I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to going to places. So I take the car everywhere, but I love to walk. I can walk 3 to 5 miles with no problem, easily. And I do that to take myself back and take the time out and understand what's happening. And you're able to think much better as well. So be to do that as well, to link everything together. I'll also add now in terms of scheduling stuff. So schedule time for yourself. A lot of people do everything but never schedule time for themselves. In terms of, I want to read a book. If you read a book, but you need to, if you said, oh, I will read it tomorrow, tomorrow never happens, right? I will read it in 5 minutes. That 5 minutes would never happen either. If you just write it down at 9 p.m., I will read this book, right? Your phone will remind you it's 9 p.m., read the book. You will sit down and read the book because now it's scheduled for it. If you look at all these successful entrepreneurs, everything is scheduled. Even their personal life is scheduled, right? And the reason is, if it gets scheduled, it gets done.
Yes, I completely agree, Zishan. And wow, you bringing up self-love is something that I'm enjoying a lot. This is not an option. This is a must. This is vital for us to do anything. And even if you are an employee, even if you are happy with how your employee lifestyle and mindset is, you need time for yourself no matter what. Thank you so much for bringing this up. And ladies and gentlemen, how inspired are you after listening to this wonderful talk, Zishan? It has been beyond a pleasure to have you today. I feel inspired. I feel very motivated. Thank you so much for all your wisdom, for bringing us your life experience. And before we go today, can you please tell us how can our audience and the people seeing us now live on YouTube can get in touch with you and can start working with you starting from tomorrow?
So the best way to reach out to me is via my socials. I'm quite active on my Instagram. So the best way is to search my handle, which is at I am Zishan Official. If they search that, just follow me there and reach out to me from there. Do let me know that you found me via your podcast or your YouTube live, because I do get quite a lot of spammy messages, so I might not respond. So if let me know that where you are reaching out from, so I know it's genuine, and I will respond. But the best way is to reach out to me from Instagram for a quick response from me anyway.
Wonderful. And I will have all of Zishan's links from the link tree that you provided me with in the description of this live session on YouTube, everywhere on social media, on Spotify, because I think it's very important that we educate ourselves, that we keep in contact with Amazing, open-minded people as you are, Zishan. And I cannot wait to see you grow, to see you inspire more and more millions of people, millions of entrepreneurs to follow their dreams and to pursue the lifestyle, to pursue their most wildest and their most fantastic wishes, because we have one life to live. Let's make it the best that we can possibly.
No, thank you very much for also having me here and giving me the opportunity to share my story and what I'm passionate about as well. It's as you said, we live one life. Why not live it passionately and be successful in what things we need to do? There is no reason to say that you should not be successful. Everyone is destined to be successful. We just need to be surrounded by the like-minded people that are on the similar journey, right? I will just add on to say you will never ask a electrician to do something with plumbing, or a plumber to do something with electrics, because you know they don't mix, right? So they don't have that skill. So where does the plumber hang out? He hangs out with his plumbing friends, right? Where does the electrician hang out? He hangs out with his electrician friends. Why? Because then they are learning from each other what they were doing and then moving forward. And that's what we need to do as well. Find the people who are in the same line as yourself. Also find the people who are successful in the line that you are in. Maybe they are a couple of years ahead, 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead. Look for all of them and then start reaching out, right? So I've not come across anybody who has said no to me when I've asked for help. And this is from people who are ahead of me, right? So to ask how they are doing this, how did you overcome this? Just ask, nobody would say no to someone who is reaching out for help, because we all entrepreneurs love seeing other people's success as well.
Exactly. It is indeed a limiting belief to think that those people are unreachable because they themselves have endured maybe a challenging time at the beginning. But since they see other people following, I truly believe there is no greater joy than seeing the people around you succeed and do even more than you do. And I have a saying that I took from some bigger personalities: do not be the smartest person in the room. Never be the one that knows it all, because it's so much more valuable to listen than to speak, isn't it?
That is 100% true. And I might just like put something that I actually follow as well, is that we never know everything ever in our life. We never know everything ever in our life. Now, I might know certain things that you might not know, but I'm sure you know a lot more that I don't know, right? So we are able to teach each other certain things, right?
Exactly.
And that goes for everybody. If you're in a room of other entrepreneurs, it is 100% guaranteed that you might know something that this person doesn't know, but that person might know something that you don't know as well. So everybody has their strengths, and you work with those strengths, and the weaknesses are might be your strengths, right? So your weakness might be somebody else's strength, and this is where you need to meet and network with all those people and stay in touch, right? And the reason I say is to reach out to other people is, when you are reaching out, you also need to be very direct and to the point. And because all the entrepreneurs are busy, they are building their businesses, they are, or if they are already established, they are now sustaining their businesses. So all of us are very busy, right? So it's great to be on point of what you are asking. Hello, hi is good, but you can say, hi, I saw you here at XYZ, I'm looking for this help. Then you can also say, I have tried XYZ, can you explain where I went wrong, or what am I missing? Now you've asked them a direct question of, okay, I've tried everything that I know, that's why I'm asking your expertise, have I missed something? And that way a person is able to help more, rather than saying, hi, how are you doing, do you have time? We would never have time. right?
Exactly. We don't have time, we make time. Thank you so
Exactly.
much for adding this, Zishan. This has been beyond amazing. It has been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you once again for your wisdom, for your experience, for your availability. And it is an honor for me to be spreading your message further and to be helping more and more entrepreneurs with your help to turn their mindset towards the success and the greatness that we all deserve. Zishan,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
once
much for having me.
again. It is my pleasure. Have an amazing, beautiful, successful life ahead. I cannot wait to see you grow more and more each month.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I to you as well. I look forward to your journey, and we will compare notes on bungee jumping and skydiving, I'm sure, soon.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.